Hello, everyone. Here's Mel Cherrygate from Whoever You Are podcast in Spotify, and I have another guest today, and I'm really excited to talk to her. Her name is Sandy Blair. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yep, you got it.
You're right. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. And she's gonna share with us her story. She used to be a nurse, and I do love the perspective that she has on the addiction that is not just about alcohol. It's how how our brain works because we want like this pleasure instantly, and you can do that with food or sex or drugs or alcohol. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that. Hi, Sandy.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. So tell us a little bit, how did you get in this journey to become like a coach, to change your life completely? Because for what I see in your Instagram, you're like actually working out and being healthy, if not just stop drinking, right?
Yeah. Um, it kind of started even as a child. I was always active in sports. I started gymnastics when I was very young and did that up through high school. Played soccer all year round. Never really had any challenges with my weight as a child, but when I moved off to college and the sports weren't flowing so regularly, I had managed to gain quite a bit of weight. Never fully knowing my heaviest, but probably close to 100 pounds overweight from where I should have been. So I, in my late 20s, early 30s, had kind of found myself at this point in life where I wasn't really in the healthiest of relationship, not only personally, but with myself. I had been using alcohol and food to cope for many, many years. And it kind of became like a stepping stone of transition and kind of just not only personally but professionally. I actually originally went to school for fashion design and merchandising.
Oh, that's cool.
So, realized that that wasn't quite the field for me. I've never really been competitive with other people. I've really been super competitive with myself and
Okay.
trying to be the best version of myself that I could be. And it took me a little bit of time to find that. I kind of refer to myself as a little bit of a late bloomer, but I had started smoking at a very young age, started drinking and experimenting with drugs at a very young age, and had no understanding of nutrition and food. I kind of just ate whenever, however, whatever, and
Mhm.
just didn't really think about the repercussion. So, fast forward into my early 30s, I had managed to quit smoking after smoking for over 15 years.
Wow.
Um, and that kind of was like a pivotal moment for me. That kind of started the point where I realized that I could actually really do anything that I put my mind to. And it wasn't just willpower, but I didn't realize that at the time. I was really starting to learn a little bit more about the coping tools and how
Okay.
use food and alcohol and drugs and things like that to manage our stress and how to unwind and all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I did go into school for nursing and had managed to start off as an associate degree RN and then work my way all the way up to my master's in nursing
Wow, that's
education.
awesome.
So I do have my master's in nursing education and had been actively practicing under that license until December of this past
Great.
year. So yeah, so then, here I am as a new
It,
nurse. Working with patients that I see incredibly sick, incredibly overweight, incredibly unhealthy, high blood pressure, diabetes, you name it.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to tell them they got to eat better, but here I am not eating well myself, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
kind of just recognizing that I wasn't walking the talk. And we're not really taught formally in nursing school really proper nutrition. We're sort of taught how to help people with diabetes manage it and things like that, but
Okay.
never really a solid groundwork for that. So I took my own time and actually learned about nutrition and proper fueling for my body. And during that process, had managed to lose a little over 75 pounds.
Oh, it's a lot.
So it is a lot. So
Yes,
in
very
that
much.
time frame, say it again.
Very much. It's a lot. You
Yeah,
said it, I thought you were gonna say like 10 pounds, but it's a lot.
it was 75, a little bit
Very
more. It
nice.
was hard to say exactly how much because I don't know what I weighed at my heaviest because I
Okay.
stopped weighing myself at a point.
Yes, yes, I know.
So sad and frustrated and disappointed and all those things. But when I finally said I need to get on the scale and kind of know where I'm at because I know I'm going to make a change. Um, so yeah, so lost 75 pounds, really started to understand macros, carbs, fats, proteins, what my body needed.
And
And then
and then, but you stop drinking at the same time?
no,
That no, you
not
were still
yet.
drinking. Okay.
So I kind of had gone through waves. So prior to becoming a nurse, I did have, unfortunately, I got my first DWI right after my 21st birthday.
Oh,
And I did quit drinking at that point for a little bit. But again, kind of, I would stop for a little bit, went through all the things that I needed to do to be able to regain my license to drive again and all that stuff, took all the appropriate steps that New York State required, and then would
okay.
start drinking again. Um,
Oh,
and then fast forward about 9 years, that was when I had gotten my second DWI. Again, both of these prior to me becoming a nurse. Um,
okay.
and that was a challenge in itself, and we can talk a little bit about that too. Because even though it was prior to me becoming a nurse, it was still stuff that I had to disclose. And getting my nursing
Okay.
license actually took a little bit longer than it would have if I hadn't have done it.
Okay.
So, um, but yeah, so then again, that point, I did abstain from drinking for a little bit, saying like, okay, maybe I should take a break, and then would slowly start to let it creep back into my life. Um, and during, understanding nutrition and things like that, I obviously started working out more. I started off with running, which I feel like a lot of us do. We think like cardio, like that's going to help me burn the most calories. And so in that time frame, had started running 5Ks, and then I started running half marathons. I actually ran about five.
Wow. You're very, you have a very like good willpower, even though you had those problems. I can see that everything that you achieved is you need to have that willing, like I'm gonna do it because most of people want to do it, but they don't.
Yeah.
So congratulations on that.
Thank you. And again, it does start with willpower. It continues with consistency and just dedication to yourself and mindset. That's really a lot of the
Mhm.
driver is you can only willpower yourself for so long.
Yeah,
After a while, it starts to run out, and that's kind of where some of those new tools and the repetition and finding new ways to navigate those things actually help continue that shift for longevity. I mean,
yeah.
ultimately, my nutrition and my needs I'm never going to have to stop thinking about it, especially if I want to stay where I'm at. Like it's work.
Okay.
You have to kind of choose your hard. It's either do I want to be overweight
Yeah.
and healthy, or do I want to be at an appropriate weight and healthy and be able to do things well into my 80s and 90s. You kind of have to
Okay.
think hard. So, yeah, so then, it sort of transitioned as I started to lose weight and got more comfortable. I started getting into weightlifting, and because I knew
Oh.
that muscle was important on many
Yeah,
levels.
I only do the weight because people that understand tells me that it's the best way to keep in shape,
Yeah.
and to think about when you get old that you're going to need the muscles, right?
Yes. Yeah, especially for women. I mean, we lose
Yeah, always women.
muscle at a very large rate starting in our late 20s, and we don't even realize it. So, the more you can preserve and hold on to in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, the better off you're going to be in your 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond. And there's a
Mhm.
lot of and a lot of groundwork that I work with my clients on, especially in the food realm of things, is that, and kind of just the overall nutrition and fitness and taking care of your body aside from the alcohol. Is that, if you want your hormones to be balanced, exercise, lift weights. If you want your to look toned, you have to lose fat and build muscle. Like that's what the definition of toned is.
You
There's
need to
not
eat
some weird,
protein.
yeah,
This is my hardest my hardest challenge is to eat as much protein as much as I know I should eat because
yeah,
it's a lot.
yeah,
And then sometimes I'm just like overwhelmed with protein, like I
sure.
can't anymore, but
Yeah.
I know we have to eat a lot in a day.
Yeah, protein is important. I mean, protein and fiber are the two things that when I, talk to my clients about macronutrients and what they need to fuel their body and to feel their best, protein and fiber are the two things I have them prioritize. And then I kind of let them have their fats and their carbohydrates fall however they do, as long as they're staying within their calorie allowance, whether they're in
Okay.
a deficit because they're trying to lose fat and build muscle. Protein's going to help you hold on to that muscle as long as you can and maintain. It also helps with satiety. It keeps you fuller longer. So that's really where all of that sort of comes from. And
Okay.
really you only need like zero point 0.7 to 1 gram per pound of ideal body weight. So if you want to weigh, say, 150 pounds, the most you would need is about 150 grams of protein a day. In the beginning, it is a lot, especially for a lot of my clients that come to me. They're like, that's so much protein.
They're
And
not used to, right? Because if
yeah, but
you
after a while, it's like almost you want more because and
I
it's
need
really
to
not a
try
good for
more then
people.
because it's not really working for me. But I just want to share because we are in this subject. Not a lot of people know this about me, but when I was a teenager, I was overweight, and I actually did the surgery. And when I was 22, then I lost 50 kilos, which is like 100 something pounds.
Hmm.
And then, but then on the like 6 years ago, when my drinking got really heavy, I gained a lot of weight. And then now I just lost 30 kilos. That, yeah. And
Amazing.
so I just started to do the podcast after I lost the weight. So people just know me like this. But it's incredible how removing alcohol, of course, alcohol has a lot of calories, but it's not just that. You instantly, when you start to go to the gym, because I went to the gym for my mind when I
Hmm.
got sober.
Yeah.
And but then when you work out and stop drinking, you start to eat better
Hmm.
because it's like this snowball,
Yeah.
and I love what you said about the repetition because sometimes we don't have the motivation. We're not gonna have every day.
Hmm.
So what I try to focus on is my goal, you know,
Hmm.
like my goal is here, so I need to get there. And I'm never been like a disciplined person, never. And I'm learning that discipline helps me in everything, in the sobriety and the being healthy and being in a good relationship, because you have to keep showing up,
Hmm.
right, for what you want. So that's why I always tell that we need to live our lives with intention
Hmm.
for anything, to being a mother, to go to the gym. If you do it with intention, then your life changes,
Yeah.
right? If you're
Absolutely.
just living like, you know, then it's hard to get your goals, your dreams, right? Sorry
Absolutely.
for interrupting you.
No, I love that. And congratulations on the weight loss. I mean, I think
Thank you.
people a
Thank
lot of times, don't realize that any way you do it, it's not easy. There's a lot of shifting and mindset and just choices, and that's kind of with the alcohol too. I was doing well, I was losing weight, but and it kind of got to a point where, again, like I've had this internal sort of battle for years, and
With
alcoholism
the
and
alcohol?
drug
Okay.
addiction run in my family. My dad has been sober for 30 some years now. He did, I think, 3 rounds of rehab before he finally was able to get clean and sober
So
for the
just
last
like me.
time. Yeah. And, it was always kind of percolating in the back of my mind that, like, I was no different, and it was probably just a matter of time before things were going to probably escalate. And again, I'd have these, like, you know, looking back and kind of reflecting on all of my interactions and all of my times while I was drinking, like, there's no true moment where I could go, "Oh my gosh, that was the best night because I drank." You know what I mean? Like, there was
No.
never a moment where I was like, "Oh, that night was so much fun," or that what, usually I
Yeah,
always feel like, "Oh my gosh, what did I do?"
it's like a illusion that they sell us.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
I'm not saying that I never had fun drinking because I would be lying.
Sh
I
Oh,
did using
sure.
drugs. Course, I had a lot of fun. I did
Yeah,
a lot of things that I regret, but I had a lot of fun.
yeah,
Thank God when I was going out and the internet was not there yet on the phones.
right.
So I have not, no worries that anything is recorded
Yeah,
because I was really a wild party girl.
yeah.
And and but after a while, I think maybe with age because it's progressive, right? So
Mhm,
when I know that I got to the point that I had to drink just to feel normal,
mhm.
that's when you know you're really, really into addiction.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you get there, if you got there, but I think it's amazing when people are able to stop before they go there, you
Mhm.
know. And so I think it's amazing when
Yeah.
you just realize, okay, it's not doing me any good. And so let's just stop with this, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so kind of like we had spoke earlier, I don't classify myself as an alcoholic. I do classify myself as an alcohol abuser. And the difference for me is that I didn't need to drink all the time or every day in order to kind of feel normal, or it was more social or unwinding, but it was starting to creep into days where it didn't need to. So what would start off like, okay, well, I just have to get to Friday. Once I get to Friday, I can have a drink Friday, I can have a drink Saturday. Maybe I'll have a drink Sunday. We'll have fun day Sunday, and then Monday, nothing. Tuesday, nothing. But then it would start to creep in. Oh, well, let's go get pizza and wings. And, what goes really good with that is a nice cold beer on a Tuesday or on a Thursday. Or so it was slowly starting to creep into every day. And it wasn't
Hmm.
just one or two, because one or two for me don't make me
It
feel
would be
good.
fine.
Three or
Yeah,
five or seven make me
and
feel
then it
good. And
is.
then I'm way past at that point and I start to forget
And
things.
believe me that it would get much worse because it is progressive.
Yeah.
Because it took me a long time to get where I got with addiction. You
Yeah.
know, I got married, I had a daughter, and I was doing well in my career, and everything was fine, and I was drinking every day, but it was just like happy hour with my
Yeah.
husband. And then it got worse and worse and worse, so probably you stopped before that, thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did decide to, again, kind of recognizing that the pattern, the slippery slope was sort of starting again. And it was and now at this point, not only am I, worried about myself and people around me, and unfortunately, the first thing that goes is your inhibition. So, my
Yeah.
reasonable thinking. So it was like a matter of time before I was probably going to get behind the wheel of a car again, because obviously I've already done that at least twice that we know of on
Hmm.
record. You know what I mean?
You
And I,
think I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, right?
because you think all of a sudden I'm invincible and I can't do anything wrong, and so I did sober. I did dry January, and my husband and I had gotten married that August prior, and we had a honeymoon planned for February. So I did dry January, and I was like, I felt so good. At this point, like my fitness and nutrition was really on point, and but it was interesting because I was really into CrossFit at that point, and my fitness had just sort of like blown up. Like all of a sudden, I had a full recomp and like was starting to lose weight again a little bit, and kind of was like, okay, well, if I drink Friday, if I try to go to the class on Saturday morning, I'm going to feel like crap, and my workout's not going to
Mhm.
be that good. So then I would kind of find myself having this little bit of turmoil, like, do I really want to drink tonight? Because if I do, I know tomorrow's not going to be as good. And maybe if I don't drink tonight. So then I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a month off, do a complete reset, see how it goes. I ended up losing like 9 pounds that month because I
With the
did that all
alcohol,
fall.
you would not,
That was
you
the
know,
only thing I changed. Like the puffiness in my face went away. Like
everything.
it was
And
wild, the inflammation.
I would starve myself the whole day so that I could drink and
So you
not
could
get
have those
fat.
calories.
Yeah.
That's the
So,
another annoying thing is that they don't put calories on
yeah, it's a
label.
lot.
Probably for a right, you know.
Yeah, I remember, those apps that you put everything you ate or you drink and then they give you the calories. And so I had one and I would like organize so that I was supposed to have like 1,200 calories a day and to lose weight. And then I would see how much glasses were bad, and then I would save at least half of it to drink, and then I ate almost nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah, and this is me as an adult, a mother. It's not me with 15 years in a club. It's different.
right.
Like you should know better, right? But that how it was. I wanted to drink.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean I definitely have been there too. I had definitely been like, okay, I know we're gonna have drinks tonight, so I'm gonna carve out 500-600 calories and
Hmm.
pre-track that, knowing, and then this is all I'm left to have for the day. And same thing. And I actually have hypoglycemia, so my blood
Okay.
sugar, I produce a lot of insulin, so my blood sugar drops very easily. On top of the fact that I do have a fair amount of muscle, which actually burns a lot of calories too.
Yeah.
So I was having issues with blood sugar regulation like crazy, especially when I was drinking more. All of a sudden I'd be out to dinner, and I'd say to my husband, I'm like, I think I'm about to pass out right now. Like I just don't feel good at all. And he's like, what is going on with you? So again, all of these things started to kind of come to fruition, and it all went away when I did that dry month in January. And then we went on our honeymoon, and it was all inclusive, and
I've been on those resorts,
like me
you
too.
and
And we hit that swim up bar at 10:30 in the morning
oh
when
my
it opened.
God, me too.
By two
You know,
o'clock, I'm not even remembering what happened. And I went to dinner. My husband ended up passing out because, bless his heart, he could not drink as much as me, and he ended up having to go to bed. And I was like, I got to eat something because I can't drink like this and then not eat because I'm already going to have issues with my blood sugar. So I went to dinner. I don't remember dinner. I'm pretty sure I ordered a
oh my
bottle of
God, that's
wine by
horrible.
myself. Like, and here I am on this island. Like, luckily nothing happened, and we're safe in a secured, remote place. But you still never know, And I don't even
And
remember how I got back to the hotel.
and like you are in this beautiful place, like blacking out.
Yeah,
Like
and I felt like
why?
death for two
Right?
days after that. Like I couldn't enjoy myself because
No, no.
I was
It
I was
becomes just about
so
the drinking.
hungover.
Oh my God, I know.
So we got back from that trip and I kind of sat down with him and I said, look, like this is a me thing, not a you thing. Like if you want to continue to drink, like that, it's your choice, but I
Hmm.
am choosing that this is not right for me. Like I feel like it's just a matter of time before the ball is going to drop and something horrible is going to happen and I'm going to lose my nursing license or I'm going to kill somebody
Yeah,
or myself or I was like alcohol is not worth it to me. It is not worth it to me anymore. It
it's
destroyed my
not.
family when I was a kid. And I think it's slowly destroying our life if I continue to do it. And my husband was like, okay, like he kind of didn't quite understand at the time. And, he didn't quite, I think, realized the magnitude that alcohol had, like the hold it had on me. Because I partially didn't want to share that. It was
Okay.
sort of embarrassment.
Yeah.
It was sort of
Yeah.
fear.
Yeah. The shame, right? It's
Yeah.
hard.
And
Shame
I
is.
finally just said, this is it. I've had enough. Like, I don't want to pretend anymore that, like, this is serving me because
This
it's
is
not.
okay,
Yeah.
right? This is normal.
Yeah.
I know that. I used to live in Dominican Republic, so we would go to Punta Cana, always on those resorts, the all inclusive, and my husband loved to drink,
Yeah.
and we would just drink. Like eat, okay, but drink in the pool before I go to the beach, and then exactly you would go to your room and like black out,
Yeah.
and then we miss the whole trip, and then the other day I wake up and would drink again, and
Yeah.
I thought I was having the best time of my life,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. No, it's not. And, so I've been sober 1,270 days today.
It's so wonderful.
And, I if I would be lying if I said that the first year specifically was easy. Like there was a lot of learning curve. There was a lot of
Oh, ties it all.
social interactions sober that you always did intoxicated are different, and that's a lot of the stuff that I work with my clients on is just helping them kind of navigate that, and a lot of it's trial and error. Everybody is different. Everybody's journey is different. Everybody's sobriety is different. So, just really understanding my foundation helped kind of build my coaching foundation. And
Wow.
um, you know, it was
And you
interesting.
coach,
No,
sorry,
go
you
ahead.
coach in fitness also, or just the alcohol? You do
Yeah.
both.
So I am actually doing a little bit of a rebrand right now. I'm going to be launching the end of this month, relaunching the end of this month. But um, again, we talk a lot about fear and like change is scary, and in our
Very.
nervous system, which is what I teach my clients on, is nervous system regulation and learning how to, I always say, two tools like, or one tool, two coping mechanisms, food and alcohol. So a lot of times what I do is I help women sort of navigate that and I work with them on whatever they feel that they need to reach
Hmm.
their goals. So a couple of my clients are specifically sobriety focused. They really want to get sober. They're trying to navigate that in a non-sober world and giving them the tools and the resources and the education in order to successfully do that.
Okay.
And then
And and how do you, sorry, but how do you get like your clients? It's like reaching on Instagram or yeah, Instagram, right?
yeah, so really it's
Usually.
a lot of word of mouth, a lot of Instagram or Facebook. I'm also on TikTok. I'm on LinkedIn as well. So I do use my platforms to help share
Hmm.
my knowledge and my experience and my expertise. And then, again, word of mouth is huge. Like I
Yeah.
think I've had 3 referrals just from friends that are like, you know what, I know somebody that's been through this, and if this is something you really want to do, I think she could probably help
Yes.
you. Um, and then same thing with like the food and nutrition and the exercise. I mean, I've been lifting for over 8 years now. I've been able to
Wow.
maintain my weight loss for over 8 years. I've done some bulks and some cuts over the last couple of years because, again, I'm trying to continue to build muscle. But in the summer,
Yeah, you look awesome.
thank you. But I do love looking lean in the summer. So, usually I'll put myself in a little bit of a deficit just to kind of lean myself out a little bit. And
Hmm.
then, in the winter, I'll usually kind of grind it out and gain a little bit of weight so I can build some
Yeah, I think
muscle.
everybody, it's
Yeah.
a little like that,
It's just a
right?
good time to do it.
Yeah.
We're all
And
hiding
I
in
mean,
sweatpants
you
and
have to enjoy life also.
yes.
And so, okay, sometimes you want to eat something, you want to eat something.
Yep.
That
Yeah.
you just can't do this like every day, right?
Yeah.
Um, and what I was going to ask you, oh my God, sorry. So you got the client, and then you do like this plan,
Yeah.
and then you work specific with each client, like because I do understand. I don't have clients like that, but I do think that sometimes the shame or the person wants help but doesn't know if she really needs it,
Yeah.
because I think we always been there like, do I really need this? No, I think I can do it on my own. And so I think that the shame sometimes it's complicated for people reaching out, because like my podcast, it's with people that are in recovery or are trying, or mental health, or trying to get better, so they are not so ashamed anymore to
Mm-hmm.
share. They want to share, they're proud of their stories.
Mm-hmm.
But who is still in, it's not proud,
Mm-hmm.
they're ashamed.
Mm-hmm.
And so it makes it harder, I think. But the internet's better for that, because I think that people don't have to expose themselves, like go to a office and bang in the door and
Yep.
say, hey, I need help, right? So the
Yeah.
internet's good for that. And I've been talking with a lot of coaches, and what I like about, because each person has one way of doing it, and I think it's like a psychiatry. Each sometimes I match with her and you don't,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think with the coaching is the same.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I like to talk with a lot of people that are coaching, because you give options to people. Maybe this, like somebody that wants to get fit and stop drinking and think, oh no, she's great, I'm going to Sandy.
Mm-hmm.
And then another one will go to this guy that I interviewed, that it's a friend of mine, and he has a different approach,
Mm-hmm.
and it works. So I think if you do the work, it doesn't matter uh, uh, exactly the method, but if the person is willing to do the work, I think it can work. And I needed to go to rehab.
Mm-hmm.
If maybe I've got a coach, I didn't know about coaches
Mm-hmm.
because I was not scrolling Instagram when I was drinking,
Sure.
you know, and I would definitely not following anyone on sobriety because I didn't want to, right? Like,
Right.
and then and I had to go to rehab. And now I think there's this movement of sobriety that's get bigger and bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm proud to be a part of it, because I think it's really important,
Yeah.
right? And you as a nurse also have the nurse thing, like the physiologic part of it. So it's really cool,
Yeah.
really cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. And and I think helping people, it never gets old,
It doesn't.
right? I
And that's
think
really
it's
all I
so.
ever wanted to do. That was the whole reason why I got into nursing. And I think, just over the 15 years, kind of just the progression of the way my career went, it kind of shifted a little bit differently than I had originally had planned. And then I kind of
Mhm.
just sort of regrounded myself and was like, I have so much more to offer. And, in the previous position that I was in, I was really, I was connecting with nurses, our nurses and stuff, but I really wasn't connecting on a level that it was very like surface level. It wasn't really deep. And I felt like that part was missing for me. And I was sitting behind a computer all day long looking at data and trends and
Hmm.
and not really just face to face with people, which is what I really truly missed. And I just didn't I got to a point where I was like, I want to take care of people and support them and encourage them and motivate them my way. Like I feel like, and that was sort of where the entrepreneurial sort of side of this stemmed from. And again, already owning Mindful Sips, a mobile mocktail trailer, like I had already been kind of forward facing with people, and I love doing it. Like I just get so
No,
excited
that's
to be
awesome.
out there, and I'm making mocktails for people or alcohol-free
No.
cocktails, and just spreading awareness, and then just being able to use my clinical expertise and my nursing knowledge, and being able to apply that to my practice, and being well rounded with understanding nutrition and what the body really needs or doesn't need, on
Hmm.
top of recognizing that alcohol really has no purpose. So,
No, there's no purpose.
and just
It's
being able to share that has been super liberating and empowering. And I just, you said a little bit earlier about just feeling so good and just feeling like normal without it, and I've never felt better in my life. And the fact that I am not using a substance to try to dilute all of the things. Like there's challenges. Like I'd be lying if I didn't
yeah,
say there
yeah,
are days where I'm just like, shit's heavy, you know,
yeah. And but
to
and
process and sit in it and
but-
actually work
yeah.
through it and a lot faster now because I'm actually not diluting myself.
Yeah, you have to find like a new you and
Hmm.
not a new you, but a new purpose and a new. It does get hard. Like I have anxiety all the time. I still have it. It got really better without the drinking,
Hmm.
but when I was really anxious, I always went to alcohol,
Yeah.
and for me, it gave me that release at the moment that I
Temporarily.
drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was about it. It was about anxiety. So this is my problem. Then I found out that my problem is because I have this anxiety, and it's not a normal anxiety. It's like a all the time anxiety. That now I'm better, but I still have it, and I have to navigate. Like, okay, I feel anxiety. I know it's just in my head, and then you do the breathing, you do
Hmm.
the meditation, you
Yeah.
do the exercise,
Yeah.
and then okay, it goes away because nothing stays forever. No
Right.
feeling,
Yeah.
no sensation is gonna be good forever or bad forever. So once I got that in my mind, I was able to maintain the sobriety, and for me was the turning point to really think, okay, this is not gonna last forever. This is gonna get better,
Yeah.
and I can experience the world differently if I want to, if I really want to, right? So. Thank you so much for coming and joining me, and I love to when people are really honest about their journey and the problems. I think it can help a lot of people.
Mm.
And when we are open, I know that I had so much shame,
Mm.
and when I started to say to the world, sharing my story, and now I'm sharing other people's stories, it's really healing, and the shame got much better,
Yeah.
right?
I love that.
It
Yep.
does.
Yeah, it does. Well, thank you so much for having me and reaching out.
Oh no, I love
I
it. I love
appreciate
it.
you and everything that you're doing, and I can't wait to
Thank
see how things progress.
Okay, me too. I'm gonna, when I post the episode, I'll let you know.
Amazing.
And I'm gonna put your page and everything. And we keep in touch, okay?
Yeah, I love that. Mel, have a blessed day.
Yeah, you too. Bye bye.
Bye.